signed my second contract for NYCFC. I think it's an amazing feeling.
What are your goals just going forward right now?
Like I said before, just to continue to keep getting better, stay hungry. You know, to be honest, this just feels like a new beginning for me. I feel like it's just a reset button. Everything starts from zero. So just got to get after it now.
What's the secret behind Tayvon Gray's selection for the Jamaica men's national team? Join Premier 7 right now for the big chat. You have to make the most of the chances that come your way. You have to strike while the iron is hot. This is a popular quote written by Spanish proverb, and it links directly to the Jamaican right back in a Tayvon Gray. Welcome everyone to Premier 7 yet again. I am your host, Ryan Nelson. Of course, I hope that you all are having a fantastic day. Today's topic is all about the importance of Tayvon Gray, a player that I don't think many persons talk about. But based on his talented profile, based on how well this guy is catching the eyes of many persons, I think that he deserves to be featured on the program. And of course, for persons to learn and know more about him. So, of course, the topic is all about what's the secret behind Tayvon Gray's selection for the Jamaica men's national team. Of course, alongside this, I will provide some details surrounding Mr. Gray, transfer market, and who score details. Then, before the show is closed off, I will answer a question. Was it wise for the Jamaica selectors to call him up to represent the national team? But before I do so, people, I just want to bring across the poll that was being posted, as it is all about the question: Tayvon Gray, was it a wise decision for him to be selected as a part of the Jamaica men's national team? So far, I received 13 views, whereas majority says yes with 62%, whereas not sure being second, 31%, and no reflecting 8%. I am sure that the vote will increase as the program continues to go along. So, people, it is of me to talk about a Tayvon Gray. It is ideal that Lembikisa is Jamaica's ideal right back, and based on how Lembikisa plays, it is undoubtedly a case that we would say Lembikisa should not be the main starter. However, seeing that Lembikisa and Tayvon Gray are competitive players who are of similar age profile, that will be a competition for the right back spot. And in that case, I believe that Tayvon Gray is a player that, based on recent performances, based on his own personality, he's a fighter, he's a believer, he's a team player. He will try his utmost best to be in the starting 11. And if he's not a starter, then guess what? He will be that motivation for his teammates, even when he's from the bench. All right, so let me just give you some general information additionally about a Tayvon Gray. So Tayvon Gray was born, of course, in Bronx, New York, in the United States, but we know that he has switched his allegiance to Jamaica, which is absolutely something that we surely appreciate. He's currently age 22, and of course, he has played several games for his senior team in the MLS in a New York City FC, 62 games, and that was from 2020 to this present moment. For Tayvon Gray, of course, he played at the under 17 level for the United States 18 times from 2018 to 2019. However, the allegiance thing, whereas he's now playing for Jamaica, now in the squad again, he represented us on a occasion of 6 times from 2023 up until this level. So that was some general information to share about Tayvon Gray. So let's jump into something that gives some more detailed representation about the player that could give you some more understanding of who he is on the pitch. This season in the MLS, he has played 25 games, 1 goal, but 7 assists. 4 yellow cards, we can understand that. Maybe it's because of tactical reasons or based on what he states in the media that whatever it takes for him to help his team to win, he will do so. So the importance about this statistics that I'm seeing here is that even though he played 53% thus far, 51 minutes, goal participation 16, it shows that this guy have what it takes to provide for his team. Following up with that, Tayvon Gray is an ideal right back for the New York City FC, and of course, he is still on contract with his team that is going to expire in 2025 on the 31st of December. But the thing about Tayvon Gray that points out or reflects here is that he's a player who has upgraded his game. If you look in the media, you're seeing that persons are saying that Tayvon Gray is the type of player who has improved not only defensively but also offensively. So it's more like a complete type of player in the MLS for his club team. And that is something that is like a secret as to why Jamaica would select a Tayvon Gray. Seeing that most of the players who have been selected for the national team for the upcoming games are more so defensive players. Congrats to Mason Holgate, who has now switched his allegiance to Jamaica. And of course, we have the regular representees. But the idea about Tayvon Gray is that this player can provide some contributions to Jamaica national team in a offensive way. It is not something new, whereas Jamaica isn't good in terms of scoring a lot of goals. So we need for players like a Tayvon Gray, if he's given the opportunity to start or to come from the bench in the rough games that Jamaica is going to play in a few days from now, it will be of good use for the national team. So, as I've expressed before, start in 11 and the minutes may look a bit small, but the goal participation reflects how well this guy can be impressive for the team. We don't know if he's going to come from the bench. We don't know if he's going to start, but I'm hoping that when Jamaica needs somebody to dominate or to provide something of boost to the national team's performance, a Tayvon Gray could be that ideal option who can bring across or bring about the performances from his MLS team into the national team by way of having his confidence up and running. So looking on his details here in a Tayvon Gray, his key characteristics is that of being a key passer, his crossing, his strong, and his ball interception, all three being strong. Jamaica needs players who can do these things consistently. And it is not to say that these things are fake, but it is based on what is seen, what is put into the data, and it reflects that Tayvon Gray, with a rating of 7.04 as a right back, can become a problematic player for opposition teams. And this reflects good news for him, seeing that, as I've expressed before, he may not be the type of player who has been talked about that much, but looking on how he performs, looking on how he expresses himself in the media, he's a very confident player. Is he a player who will use his confidence to overpower other players on his team? I don't think so. But I see him as a trash talker, And that is something that could even help Jamaica psychologically against opposition team. And these are some important things that we can expect to see from a Tayvon Gray. So in that case, people, it looks good for Jamaica to have him in the national team, and that actually jumps into the next segment of the program that speaks directly about Tayvon Gray. Was it wise for Jamaican selectors to call him up to represent the national team? It is not the first time he's been called up, and seeing that not all players that we would like to have in the national setup are available, so it is best to have players who can come by and represent our nation. I mean, we don't want for certain players to be injured. Well, then again, we don't want for any players to be injured. But where players of the quality like Tayvon Gray makes himself available based on even current performances, it justifies the reason for his selection. And the secret behind this, for me personally, is that based on his recent performance, playing good amount of games, maybe coming from the bench, starting early and getting substituted, is showing that in a short space of time, this guy can provide something or pull a rabbit out of the hat. So, for me personally, it is a wise decision to have him called up. Not to say that Jamaica team is limited in regards to not having the ideal amount of players that they would like to start, but you have someone like a Tayvon Gray who have an understanding about the team, about his teammates, about what it means to win, what it means to compete, what it means to progress. Then you need players like him to be in the national team. I am just here to say what I saw, what I have heard, what I have understand about the player, and of course, it is for me to share such with you, the fans of Premier 7. So, people, what is your say about the topic? What's the secret behind Tayvon Gray's selection for the Jamaica men's national team? I have made my own comment. I have made my own say. And seeing that you are followers of Premier 7, I am hoping that this video will do a lot of good for you. So, people, it is for you now to have your say on the channel surrounding the topic being selected. And of course, once you comment, Premier 7 will be on board to respect your opinion and to drop my own say. So, people, you take care. Goodbye until we meet again.